Hey guys, I'm Ben Lustgarten. I'm a cross-country ski racer for the Craftsbury Green Racing Project, and I'm an ex-Mansfield Nordic Ski Club member back in high school, my high school days. I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about what I've been doing this summer and fall to prep for the season, and a couple of good memories I've had from the Mansfield Nordic days and college, just to share with you and some training tips as well. So this year, upcoming is the Olympics. So all the professional skiers in the U.S. are kind of gearing up for the qualifications, which will be the two U.S. Super Tours before nationals and U.S. national championships. What we've been doing is just focusing on really high quality training, but most of all recovery. I think recovery has been my primary focus for the last two seasons. And I've noticed that it really helps my training, helps my racing, and makes me a lot faster. The best ways to recover from workouts, I think, is to immediately take some kind of carbohydrate protein source right after every single workout, like as soon as possible. Obviously, change into a dry shirt as soon as possible after every workout. Stay hydrated during the workout and throughout the day, and to stay fueled properly. Um, Obviously, if any of you guys have followed me on social media, you know I use Hammer Nutrition, so I don't have to push that too hard anymore. But that's what I use. I think it works well. You can use whatever works for you, but that's what I would recommend, obviously. Um, but I think that staying fueled during long workouts, especially, um, doesn't create as much a demand on your body and make it as depleted so that you can recover quickly from that workout and be ready for the next workout either that afternoon, the next morning, or after the following rest day. And these are just like very small things that you might think you do already, or maybe you kind of overlook every other day, or on easy days you don't really think about. But if you do it every day, it adds up to make your training just higher quality. You feel a little bit better for every workout, and that over time will just make you feel a bit fitter and a bit faster. Just a few good memories that I've had back from Mansfield Nordic days. Back when I was on Mansfield Nordic, which was a while ago now, it was only twice a week in the summer, Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. And I remember they were mostly our roller ski days because we didn't roller ski too much then in the summer. Didn't really know too much about the whole training thing back my sophomore year. So we always did our skate roller skiing then, and my glutes were always so incredibly sore after those workouts. Like I could barely walk. I remember that pretty vividly. I also remember some good Spence training workouts, which is the explosive like plyometric bounding, and that would leave us extremely sore for a good 4 to 5 days. Just remember being really sore basically from Mansfield Nordic training. My favorite high school workouts to remember was commonly when we didn't have snow. We would, for those of you in Burlington High School, might know the stairs in A building. Just I think it's like 4 flights of stairs, and what we would do is like partner strength training. So me and my twin brother, I'd put him on my back and run up all 4 flights of stairs, and then he'd do the same, and we'd kind of like go on and off for however long, half an hour or so. That was a really good workout and just kind of fun and goofy, and I felt like it might have made me stronger. Maybe not necessarily a specifically better skier, but a stronger skier. Um, so those are good times. Obviously, training's a bit different now, but a little bit more specific. Luckily, we can do some more ski training and get on snow a bit more than I did in high school. That's all right. Another interesting tip, I think, is to figure out how to motivate when it's really cold, rainy. Maybe you just have an optional workout, or you just kind of like are right on the edge of like, oh, I should just sit on the couch and have some snacks, or go out and train. And this is the time of season that's the hardest, November, when it's cold, rainy, your post cross country running or soccer season or whatever sport you do in the fall, and then you're kind of gearing up for Nordic. But it's this kind of weird off season. It's getting really dark. It's getting really cold. It's usually raining all the time. Um, Definitely, I've been there myself, even now. I think one of the best tips for that is to just put on your running shoes or just put on your training clothes, in the act of kind of just physically getting ready and not thinking about the workout at hand and just like getting out the door, and suddenly the workout just kind of happens. hopefully. That's what I find helps a lot. If I think too much about, oh, I have to do like a 90-minute run, like, oh, where should I go? What loop should I do? And then I'm like, it's getting to be close to dinner time. Maybe I'll just do an hour run, oh, maybe a half an hour run. Maybe I'll just take it off. I need the rest, right? You like do that whole rationalization in your head. But basically, just put your training clothes on, put your shoes on, and then once you're out the door, the workout will just do itself. And then you'll feel a lot better after you do the workout. Now I want to talk a little bit about kind of the role of the clubs and skiing at the junior level and how it's changed. When I was a junior, I didn't really know too much about the club scene besides Mansfield Nordic, but I kind of thought of Mansfield Nordic as kind of a summer training program, not really a club in itself, because most of the kids then were racing for their public high schools, whereas now it's really common to race for a club in addition or instead of a public high school. So I think that's kind of how it's changed since I was a junior in Vermont. Now with people thinking about skiing in college, they want to go private clubs and get better results. I would like, I guess if I had a personal opinion on like really young juniors, for like BKL kids, I don't think personally that super specific ski training at that age is really important. I think that, for those kids that are that BKL age, like just playing sports and being outside and having fun is way more important than getting on roller skis and doing intervals or like technique work. Even at that age, you can't really grasp it. Don't really have the muscular strength to pull off a lot of the technique training that needs to happen. I think just getting them outside on skis is fine, but mostly just like having fun playing games. Yeah, that's kind of what I see in like the junior ski world right now. And then the next question that Adam Turco had for me was about my sponsors. So again, if any of you follow me on social media, I do a lot of sponsored posts. I mostly use social media for my sponsors. And I like to show recognition for my sponsors because they support me in achieving what I need to do and what I want to do, and I really appreciate all that support. But yeah, so I am sponsored by Rosignol Skis, One Way Poles, Alpina Boots. So those are my kind of ski sponsors, and then I have a bunch of auxiliary training equipment sponsors. Toco gloves, trigger point rollers, SEP compression gear, Hammer Nutrition, Body Glide, and Ultra running shoes. So those are all like gear that I just use every day, or mostly every day. It helps a lot with my recovery, helps with just daily training, like getting things covered that I need to pay for, stuff like that. And then I have a couple more title sponsors or headgear sponsors or bigger sponsors. Ski Rack is one of them. They help me out with some of the gear that I need. They support me with things like training headlamps, like helmets, stuff like that that maybe a bigger company wouldn't be able to support me with. And then I also have Dealer.com, which is a local company in Burlington, and Neurosurgeons of New Jersey, which is more of a title sponsor to cover expenses that I incur throughout my season. So yeah, kind of going into the season, I wish all of you the best of luck. You can follow me on social media, and I have a website, benlustgarten.com. It's not updated that regularly, but I've been working on it. And you can contact me in the contact form if you have questions. If you want to like personally ask me about a training tip or like how to balance school and skiing, or anything along those lines, I'd be happy to respond. I always kind of say this and no one gets back to me, which is totally fine. But if you do like feel compelled to ask a question, then I'd be happy to answer. We have some free time during like training camps where I can do that. So yeah, the next step for us is training camp in Forêt-Montmorency in Quebec, where they have about 2K of snow. So we're going to do some more speed training, level 4, level 5, like max efforts to kind of get the gears going before the first Super Tour in West Yellowstone, which is going to be in later November. And then after that, just trying to race as fast as possible and try to hopefully win or podium or qualify for the Olympics. So yeah, we're all going for that, and I think it's going to be a good season. So best of luck this year, and keep in touch as you can. All right, thanks.